Happy first birthday, Coin Operated Press. Thank you for having us. I'm Abby from AberZines, and I'll be talking about some free and open source software that I use for making zines.
Hello, my name is Harry. I'm the techie behind the scenes guy for AberZines. I do sometimes dabble with a little bit of drawing and zine crafting. It's mostly Abby doing the artistic stuff, so I'll hand over to her to tell you about all the software that she likes to use.
So I pretty much only use 3 programs for making zines, and the first one up is Electric Zine Maker, and it's just basically a zine making program. It's filled with templates, folding instructions, and just so many features, and I think it's amazing. I could spend all day mucking around in there. And the second is GIMP, which the name does put some people off. Some of the developers actually decided to make their own version with some minor changes, and they did change the name to Glimpse. So if the name does put you off, there is an alternative. And it is kind of just, it's very similar to Photoshop, but free. So I usually start off my zine making process in Electric Zine Maker, just because I kind of usually find it difficult to come up with background ideas, so I kind of just play around in here. I think it's really experimental, and I really like that kind of side of it, so it's kind of fun just to, click through everything and just make a mess, really. I think that it's great for obviously making zines, because unlike a lot of other programs, it obviously has zines at the heart of it, so you don't have to worry about setting up your page measurements or anything. I used to use Libre, which is an open source version of Microsoft Office, but I found that I was just getting too stressed out with setting up pages and my zines all printing all weird and stuff, so I think that it's good that you can just not worry about that and get into your zine making. This zine was part of the Swansea Zine Festival. They did a 24-hour zine challenge, and mine was a Kate Bush adventure zine through the song Babushka, and this was all made in GIMP and Electric Zine Maker. A couple of people have asked me about buying this, and at the moment I don't have a shop or anything set up. AberZines is very, very new, and we're trying to set up as a third sector organisation, so it's kind of taking a bit of time. So while I've been waiting for that, I've just been doing some kind of art drops and things in the meantime, and I was actually introduced to art drops maybe about 2 years ago. I just moved to Aberdeen and I didn't really know anybody, so I kind of just sat on Instagram a lot, and I discovered Hello Radical, who's an Aberdeen based artist, and they were doing art drops around the city, and I just thought that was such a nice thing to do, and it was just a really nice way to brighten a stranger's day. And since starting AberZines a few months ago, I feel like I've just kind of, discovered more and more people doing these little art drops, such as Secret Tongue Mullapit Niaiti, and you'll have to excuse me if I said that totally wrong. And there's also Oh No It's Francis Vomit, Pinted Steens, The Secret Music, Cats of the Roman Empire, and Wee Mitchie, and they all do different style art drops, and I think it's a great way to brighten up the Granite City. So although I don't have an AberZines shop set up yet, if you do fancy trading zines, then we would be up for a trade, and your zine will be an immense help, because we do want to set up an Aberdeen based zine library, and it would be great to have some zines to go into it already. And another thing we'd like to do is to have an Aberdeen-based zine festival. I know there has been ones in the past, but we'd like to hopefully see if we can get it as a yearly thing. And although I didn't show it very well in this video, Electric Zine Maker does have other templates such as accordion folds and micro mini zines, and yeah, it's got lots of print shop functions and art tools all built in. It's quite new, so they are still adding things, and yeah, it's just a really good program. So the final program I'll be talking about is Autodesk Sketchbook, which is similar to Procreate on the iPad, and I really like this program just for doing little sketches. I like its mirror function, it gives me nice little symmetrical doodles, and as you can see, this cat looks very goblin-like, but who doesn't like an evil kitty?
Paint.net is pretty good too, because it's kind of based on MS Paint, the famous paint program for Windows, but it's like, I think over the years it's had a lot of extra features added to it, and it's sort of become a good program in its own right, in my opinion.
So I decided to do my talk on open source and free software because I think it's really important for people to have access to this kind of thing. I have struggled myself with communicating, and I think that having an alternative means of communicating for people who might be a bit anxious and things is quite good. I grew up with a non-verbal autistic brother, and his whole days are planned around picture cards, and they say, like, you know, wake up, have a shower, have breakfast, go to school, have a break, have lunch, etc. And yeah, his whole day is planned around these picture cards, and obviously they're his form of communicating. He has ones where he can say what he wants to do for the day, and he would have options of what he also wouldn't want to do. So I think that, you know, art and expression are very tied together, and that's also why I set up AberZines, to hopefully, you know, help people who maybe feel a bit isolated and lonely. And yeah, if you are based in Aberdeen or the northeast of Scotland and you do like zines and you kind of like what we're doing, we are looking for voluntary members to help us get set up in the third sector and hopefully get the zine library and hopefully maybe one day the festival. So yeah, if you're interested in helping out or trading zines or just giving us advice in starting up in any way, we'd love to hear from you. And I'd just like to say again to Coin Operated Press, happy first birthday, and thanks so much again for having us. Bye.